Welcome to Real Estate and Taxes with Lakshay. I will be helping you minimize your taxes. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining in on my Tuesday session on real estate and taxes. Today, I wanted to talk to you about a brand new topic which everyone is wondering. What type of business should I start because of the Canada versus US trade war? So today's agenda, we're going to talk about first the problem, which is the Canada versus US trade war that is happening right now. The second thing we're going to talk about is the solution. What type of business can an entrepreneur do and take advantage of this, right? So that's what I wanted to highlight today. Then we're going to go into talking about opportunities and challenges related to this solution, and followed by some of the tax credits and incentives. Then we're going to be ending it off with the conclusion. Right now, the problem is Canada and the US have a trade war looming over them. As soon as Donald Trump came, they basically slapped a 25% tariff on Canadian goods and services. So now what's happening is, in retaliation, Canada has done the same thing. They have now put 25% tariff on US exports as well. What that has done is the price of food is going up, produce, dairy, vegetable, everything, the overall price is going up. Because of this, now Canada has to come to some sort of a farm to table strategy, but we don't have that kind of a climate and infrastructure to have this ready. So that is a big problem, because now the same product that used to cost maybe $1, now it's going to cost $1.25. So what is my solution to this problem? My solution is coming up with vertical farming. So vertical farming is high-tech indoor farming that can be used to basically cultivate crops and have fresh produce all year round. This is a good opportunity for Canada to wake up and actually start producing things of their own. So I think vertical farming is a great way to combat this high food prices. There's 4 benefits of doing vertical farming. Number 1 is reducing the reliance on US imports. Most of the time, fresh vegetables and high quality vegetables cannot be produced within Canada. But with vertical farming, you can do this indoor. You can basically set up a warehouse or rent a facility where you will technically be able to put together different types of vegetables and have them grow all year round. Second advantage of vertical farming is economic resilience. This will technically be creating a lot of jobs. Now people would be employed to manage these farms. There will be more employment, whether it be in small towns where you can get big land and put an indoor warehouse there to manage all of this. This will technically be good for economy. Number 3 is environmental benefits. Most of the time, the trucks and the trains to actually get the produce from different provinces, different countries into Canada. With now being locally produced, the carbon emission is less, so environmental benefits is also going to be greater with vertical farming. And last but not the least, food security. Now, because all of the things are being domestically produced, we don't have to rely with our neighboring countries, so there's better food security. There's already big players in the industry like Cubic Farms, Elevate Farms, Good Leaf Farms. Some of them are located in Ontario, while others are located in different provinces like BC. All of them work on the exact same thing. They're actually focused on producing locally, whether it be leafy greens from major retailers or even supplying fresh to urban centers in Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. These are great examples, and we can actually learn from them, and the government should also even more incentivize us, which we're going to talk about later, on how we can start vertical farming. Here are 3 challenges that I feel like that are biggest. The first and foremost is high capital cost. Vertical farming is not something that you can start with low investment. It requires infrastructure, technology, systems, and that can be expensive to set up. The second challenge that is with the vertical farming is energy consumption. Because everything is climate controlled, and you have to have a lot of energy, very high energy bills. Third is consumer acceptance and market education. I think one of the things that government is already focusing on with the media is educating people on what to buy, what not to buy, what is Canada made versus what is coming from the US. Now that we have talked about some of the challenges with vertical farming, what is the future outlook? Well, Canada can become the global player in once the trade war, starts start to settle down. We will no longer be just a person who doesn't have anything locally produced. So this is a great starting point for any entrepreneur. You want to get into an industry where there's not a lot of competition, but there's a lot of upside to it. The second thing I would say is technological advancements. AI and IoT for smarter farming practices can actually help you take your farming to the next level. Farm to Table is one of the other programs that the Canadian government is pushing towards people, where whoever is locally producing, they can actually buy from the local producer rather than buying from someone who is producing overseas in Mexico or the US. So overall, the future outlook for this business is great. Now, the main slide of this presentation is Canadian government is actually giving out $1 million cash advance as a loan to start this business, out of which $250,000 worth of interest on $250,000 is completely waived off. The government subsidies are also present, where you don't have to do anything, whether it be renting the land, whether it be buying equipment, or anything in regards to setup. The Canadian government is supportive, and it's going to help you with the grants, and they are completely non-repayable. So why not start something where there's a lot of support from the Canadian government? Why go into businesses where you won't have any support? Now that we have understood how the Canadian government is helping you start in forms of loans and grants, let's look at some of the tax credits and incentives to take advantage of. There's 4 tax credits that you can take advantage of. The first one being Canada Carbon Tax Rebate. If you are a farmer, you will be getting a Canada Carbon Tax Rebate, so I'll help you reduce your overall tax burden. The second is Atlantic Investment Tax Credit. It's basically 10% investment tax credit on newly acquired property, subject to some of the regions. The third is Scientific Research and Development Tax Credit. 15% for individuals and 35% for qualified expenditures for farm corporations. Fourth is Apprenticeship Job Creation Tax Credit. This is a 10% tax credit. Basically, you can get up to $2,000 or to a maximum of 10% of their wages. So that's a great example of how Canadian government is incentivizing to start this business with all of these 4 tax credits. So overall, in conclusion, Canadian government is technically helping you a lot, right? Whether it be government incentives, whether it be grants, whether it be loan programs where interest is waived off. This is a good starting point for anyone who wants to get started, right? A lot of programs, a lot of tax credits and incentives to take advantage of. And with the trade war looming over us, I think this is a good one to actually get started with, because not a lot of people actually take advantage of this previously. So vertical farming can actually work in your favor if you wanted to get started today. So overall, I'm going to leave you with check out Business Benefits Finder, where you can explore more loan programs as well as grants to start your brand new business. And with that, thank you very much. Thank you for joining in, and we'll see you next week on Tuesday.